Alright, this is how you make an old fashioned. You start off with sugar, and you have two choices. You can use sugar cubes. I use these brown sugar cubes I got off Amazon. They're supposed to be the best. Or you can use simple syrup. You can buy this at a store. It's like $5 for a bottle. Or you can make it yourself. It's just sugar and water. This is a lot easier to make. This takes a bit more time to do. I'm going to make it with the sugar cubes today. So you take your working glass here and you add sugar. I'm going to use 2 sugar cubes. Just throw that in the glass. And you're going to take your bitters. I use 2 kinds of bitters. The original recipe only called for 1, and that 1 is Angostura bitters. So what you do is you just take 3 to 4 dashes of Angostura bitters and put in the glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to soak the sugar cubes with the Angostura. That's going to allow you to muddle it. And you're going to take 2 dashes of orange bitters. Once again, this is optional. You don't have to use orange. 1, 2. And you're going to take your muddler, and I have 2 types of muddlers here. This metal one, is for muddling fruit. It's got teeth on the bottom. This is for muddling fine ingredients. It's flat on the bottom. If you use this, all the sugar is just going to get caught in between those teeth and not actually grind up. You want to use a flat one. This was like $2 at Crate and Barrel. So don't use this kind. You take your muddler and you just muddle. Press hard and twist into the sugar. And as you can see, I'm angling the glass so that the sugar combines in the corner of it, so it's easier to muddle. And you want to just grind it into a paste. And you can hear that grinding of the sugar. Ideally, you want to be able to do this and not hear any grinding. In order to get it that good, you're going to have to muddle for like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, which I just don't have the time to do. So, you want to get into kind of a paste. There was a little water in this before, so that's not quite the normal consistency, but you get the idea. Once you get it kind of pasty, then you're going to want to add some liquid to it, so it's got something to dissolve into. Some people use a splash of water. I don't like to dilute my drink, so I just use bourbon. You take 1 ounce of bourbon. This is a jigger here. This is a pre-measured cup. That's 1 ounce if you fill it up to the top. And then you go back to muddling. And the bourbon I'm using today is just Bulleit bourbon. It's like $22 a bottle, and it's good. So you don't hear as much grinding, which is good. You get a little bit of a stir with your muddler. And then you want to let it rest for a second, let the sugar settle into the bottom of the glass, and then go back at it. Press a little harder to try and get that dissolved into the drink. The better dissolved it is, the better the drink's going to taste. So once you hear little to no grinding, you can add 1 more ounce of bourbon for a total of 2 ounces of bourbon. And then you're going to take your bar spoon here, and this is really important because it's flat on the back, which allows it to go around the edge of the glass without catching. And you just want to stir it up a little bit, agitate it to try and dissolve it just a little bit more. And then you're ready for ice. I'm going to use a handful or 2 of fresh ice. I say fresh because a lot of times when you make your second drink, you save the ice from the first time you made it, and that's not good. You want to use fresh ice. And you can see it looks like more ice than you need, but the bourbon melts the ice just subtly, and you'll see it blend into the drink. You're going to want to stir it I've kind of found 25 is a good amount of stirs. I know that sounds obnoxious, but trust me, it's important because the ice dilutes the drink, and if it's too diluted, then obviously it's going to taste watery. And if it's not diluted enough, it's going to be too strong. So the balance is really important. The more you stir it, the more water you're going to get into it. So like I said, about 25 is what I use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I may have stirred just a little more than 25, but it'll be fine. Then you're going to take a spherical ice cube, one large one, or you can use square. These are really, really important. This is key. If you use regular ice cubes in the drink, it's going to melt much quicker, and it's going to get watery, and you're just not going to enjoy it. These melt much slower, so it's going to keep the drink cold, but it's not going to make it watery. So once you got your ice cube in your glass, I'm going to let this sit in here just a little longer, just to get the drink nice and cold. Then you're going to take your orange, very important. This is your garnish, and you're just going to cut out a piece of orange. I use little circles. And you just want to get just under the surface of the orange. You don't want to get any of the fruit in there, and you don't want to get the pith, because you're going to drop this into your drink, and that pith is very bitter, and you don't want that in your drink. So now that this is nice and chilled, you put your strainer on top. This you can get separately, or they sell these things in kits with the bar spoons and the jiggers and everything. Your choice. This actually fits perfectly on this working glass. I got the glass from Crate and Barrel for $3. This is an actual, they call it an old-fashioned glass. It's designed for this drink. It's got a heavy bottom and rounded sides or flat sides, so a spoon goes in there easily and stirs nicely. You're going to go ahead and strain that into your drink. And you're going to take your orange peel, and this is optional, but I find that it adds a lot more oil to the drink, which brings out the bourbon a bit more and smooths it out. You're going to light the wax that they put on the outside of these orange, so it kind of melts away and you can get to the oils underneath. And then you're going to squeeze the orange with the flame directly over the drink, so the oils spray into the drink. Make sure you angle it so the oils go in the drink. So light the wax a little bit, get that melted, and then squeeze, and you see a big flame, and that sprays oils into the drink, and you rub it around the rim, and you get that orange essence around the rim, and you drop your orange peel in. That's how you make an old fashioned.